Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. Today, we have a guest who is, you know, really a part of my life now that I'm married to an Italian. It's all Italian all the time. Gay Italian Nonna, whose actual name is Monica. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So today we're
Love
going to
it.
talk about kind of all things that are you, and you have many branches and facets, and we're going to just kind of talk about all of them.
Yeah, there's so many avenues. So buckle up. It's going to be an ADHD ride.
So let's start. Maybe let's do a way back playback. Did
Okay.
you grow up in Vaughan as all Italians do?
No, I
No.
did not grow. I did not grow up in Vaughan. So all of my family members did. Like all of my Zias. That's aunts and uncles for the non-Italian folk here.
Yep.
They're all in Vaughan or like Richmond Hill. But no, my mother was like, let's do something else. I actually was born in Toronto and then we moved to Mississauga. So I was raised in Mississauga, which is very, very different from Vaughan. It's
Oh, for
extremely
sure.
different. Yeah.
That's a
So
completely different demographic. So you were not.
extremely, it was a giant melting pot. There was no like, there's everyone. It was lovely. Where Italians are very much Vaughan.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I grew up the same thing. Born in Toronto, and then we went east. But I don't think people truly understand. I had no idea because I am very caker. I had no idea, first of all, that Vaughan had anything other than Canada's Wonderland. Like, that was the only reason I was going there. But how much of a cultural mecca it is for Italy. Like, everybody there is Italian, who dates Italians, has more Italian children,
100%.
and that's
If,
it. Like, it's such a huge cultural kind of
yes.
shock to be in it when I was outside
Yes.
of it. But
Yeah.
you woulda got everybody in Mississauga, so that's kinda
Everyone
nice.
in Mississauga, which I loved, and I think that I'm so happy because I
Yeah.
got to experience so many different cultures and try so many different foods, and it was lovely. Also, Italian sometimes can be,
What? What do you
Yeah. Oh my God, not me talking about it. No, no, no. I think it's just, it's very religious. It's very Italian, very Catholic. Everyone's in everyone's like kind of business, and
Totally.
um,
A
I
lot of
know.
it is what will the Zias say?
Exactly. So I,
What
I
will
truly
the
think
Zias
like
say?
if it took me 30 years to come out as gay and I grew up in Mississauga, like Woodbridge, I probably already have like kids, you
Well,
know?
think of my wife.
Why, yes. Why, yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So, let's
Allora, okay.
so you grew up in Mississauga, and then did you start kind of in makeup? Did you go to school for makeup? Because I feel like that was your first
Yeah.
job, career.
Yeah. That was my first career. It was pretty much my identity, I would say, for like the longest time. I always loved creativity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And when I went into high school, I was like, I want to be an actress. Like, I want to do that. And in drama class, my drama teacher hated me. Teachers either loved me or hated me in high school. There was like no in between. Like,
Why
I
do you
was
think that
either,
was?
oh, because I'm an ADHD kid. Like, they like, you know what? It's either they knew it and they understood it, or they were
Yeah.
just like, we don't like you. And I actually to this day have that effect on people. People either really like me or really hate me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
No.
that it is what it is. So my drama teacher just didn't like me. And so he was like, "No, you're not meant for this." And so I
Oh, how
said,
terrible,
"Yeah, but listen, I'm going to prove him wrong."
right?
Exactly. So yeah, I was like, well, I like creativity. I like art. I was all of that. So I'm like, let me do makeup. I always liked kind of beauty in that sense. So I would just start with doing like my friend's makeup and like lunch break and all of that. And then I went to school for cosmetics and business. I was the only person not to do like university in my very academic families. My dad's a professor, my sister's a teacher. Her husband's like one of the smartest people in the world, like so crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, no, I'm gonna do makeup and business.
I bet your Italian family loved that.
100%. They were all really supportive, like, which was good, but it was
Sure.
very much like, what are you gonna do? You need to get a job, like, and I was like, I'm gonna prove you all wrong. So in second year of college, I got a job as a seasonal gift wrapper at Sephora. And I was like, oh, I like love this. I was like my dream job. I was like, I'm gonna gift wrap, like it was good. And then they kept me on permanently. And I was like, this is fantastic. I see myself like working up here. It was fairly new in Canada. When I started working, there was only 4 stores.
Yeah.
And now they have over 100 in Canada, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where at college, it was either I take my final exams or Sephora sends me to San Francisco for 10 days to get this crazy training and like work to be a part of it. And I was like, hey, parents, remember when I said I was going to go to college? I'm not going to do my final like exams. And I still graduated with honors because I was like, I don't need this.
Sure.
Like, we're fine. Like, I'm good at my shit.
See
Yeah.
us
So
get
then I
degrees,
just,
baby.
exactly. And then worked with them for I was there for 14 years, and I worked up from a seasonal gift wrapper to pretty much like a sub and for senior manager of like retail services. So like worked my way up in corporate, did all of their training, brought the beauty studio over.
Crazy.
It was like my identity. It was
Yeah.
everything. I love beauty. I still love it to this day.
And the creativity. You know what's so
The
funny? Your
creativity.
story
Yeah.
is so similar to Lou,
Yeah.
my wife, who you know.
Yeah.
And it's such a funny, like, to be on the outside of it culturally, because I think, based on my knowledge and whatever, my foray into this culture, Italian parents are very, I don't wanna say fear-based, but it is kind of a fear-based where it's like, you need a good job that
Yes.
pays the bills, you need
Yes.
to work for the government, you need to have
Yes.
a constant, consistent paycheck,
Yes.
and that's it, right?
Yes.
Because that's what money is, a huge deal
100%.
culturally.
Yeah.
So the same thing kind of happened for Lou, that she had to get a degree in history, and they were like, "You're going to be a teacher because that's a solid job," you know?
It's always it's always teachers. Yes.
Always,
Always.
always. So that
Yes.
was the plan. And then when she
Yeah.
was like, "I'm going to go to OCAD to get a degree in fine arts," they were like, "But for what?" And she's like, I want to. Imagine becoming
Yeah.
a tattoo artist." Her dad was
Yeah.
like, "You can't do this. Why would you
Yes.
throw all this away?
Yes.
Teaching is
Yes.
secure." I mean, in
Yes.
hindsight, it makes so much sense for both of you, but it's such a weird juxtaposition between this kind of
Yeah.
cultural identity of success and what that looks like, and then the huge artistic history of Italy itself, you know? Like, it's just a creative culture. It just
Absolutely.
breeds creativity, but it's also kinda thwarted over here in Western culture. It's such a
Yeah.
it's
I think it's the immigration part too, right?
Yeah,
It's like we came here to build a better life and like you
for
have to
sure.
continue that and like you have to like we worked really hard to like get you to be able to,
As they
go to
did.
college and they did and like I love them for that, like
Yeah,
both my parents immigrated and there is
yeah,
that fear, right? Of like you have to work really hard and I often say this like with anyone that has immigrated parents, like it's a different type of pressure.
for sure.
It's like a different type because they gave up everything. They worked so hard and like you want to keep that, but at the same time like yeah, Italians are very creative people. Like it's
100%, but you're
art.
responsible kind of for their dreams as well. It's a
Yeah.
big, big pressure for sure.
100%. Yeah. And I know, like, when I first started in makeup artistry, I'm like, I want to be a makeup artist to the stars and all of that. And there
Yeah,
was that route. But then there was like that voice inside of me that was like, okay, but you need to get the money, the pay, the
yeah,
this, the that. And I did it.
yeah.
I was unwell mentally, but I did it, and it brought me further and further and further away from like what I really wanted to do, like my true joy, my true job, like happiness, which was being a creative.
So let's kinda speak to that then. So
Yeah.
you're super high up in corporate Sephora. Listen,
Yeah.
what a dream, what a
It
discount
was great,
dream.
like, I can't complain, it was a good job, like, I loved it, don't get
I
me wrong,
love makeup.
I loved it. It was great.
So fun to
My
play.
Yes, but my job became less about that and more about numbers, more
Yeah,
about strategic planning, more
right.
about, like, strategy, like,
Yeah.
when I was doing the education, I was still touching and playing and teaching with the makeup, so I like, it brought me more joy, but then I was like, "Okay, well, I need to, like, grow more," and there's more opportunity when you go to, like, the strategy side of it. So, yeah, it was tough, like, I still loved it, but I wasn't in love with it as much. And
And
then when
then
COVID
what was the factor there? Like, what was your, "This is too
Yes.
much."
COVID hit, and I was in charge of all of the health regulations yeah, it was crazy. I think for me, I needed a break. I was good at what I did. I loved the company. I have nothing bad to say about them. Like, we have a great relationship with them still talk to many people. I needed to find me again. Like, I was just really unhappy. And I think I was just so focused on the like legalities of everything in the beauty space that I needed something else. So then I ended up getting recruited by another company in fine jewelry. And I was like, you know what? I need a change. I've been here for 14 years. Like, let's just shake
I
it up.
also love jewelry. Why
Yeah.
not?
I mean, I don't love
Oh my god, I wanna be seen from space. I wanna be
Oh,
I wanna be covered.
no, I wear this, my girlfriend got me this, but, like, I had, like, maybe 1 piercing on each ear, and then after I worked there, but again, I was doing a lot of the legal stuff for them because they were opening, like, piercing studios.
Oh,
So
that's tricky, especially at that
yeah.
time, probably.
Yeah, yeah, well, it was just after COVID, and again, like, I loved the team, no bad things, like, I'm not someone that burns bridges or anything. I was like, "What am I doing? I can't do corporate anymore." Like, I think it was less about the companies and more about corporate, if
Right.
that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
the typical 9 to 5 was, like, killing me, the whole, like, how things work. I was like, "Let's just do that." Like, I needed more of that fun in it. So on a random Tuesday in September, I quit. I
That's
just
it.
woke
No
up.
notice, no you're like, "I'm out."
I was out. I was just so miserable and I was so unhappy.
Crazy.
And I was just like, and that's the way I am. It's like I just go from 0 to 100. Like when I'm out, I'm out. And I said, if I stay, it's gonna sour. Like it's just gonna sour, and that's not who I am. I don't want to like sour relationships or whatever. I'm like, this is I need to get out. So yeah, I quit. I called my boss and I was like, "Hey, so I'm going to put in my 2 weeks notice." And they were like, "We'll pay you to stay 2 more months." Like, well, and I'm like, "No, no." And so
Crazy.
I just quit and I was like, "Whatever. I'll figure shit out." I was doing social at the time and I
Okay.
had some money coming in, not much, not much. Like I had maybe 2 brand deals at the time. But I was
Listen,
like, "Whatever. I'm
that's
going
a
to
big deal.
figure it out." Exactly.
At the time, you're like,
At the
"Woo!"
time, I was like, "Woo, look at this spending money." I was like corporate salary. I'm like, "This is great, like extra bonus, like here we go, vacation."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just quit with no plan. And then 2 weeks later, Nude Sticks offered me a job as their global artistry and education manager.
Man.
And I would work alongside their makeup pro. And I was like, "Yeah, like this is great. I'm down. I'm back in beauty again." It was wonderful. And then I was supposed to start on Monday. Like Thursday night, Friday morning, I was just like, why am I going back to corporate?
Mhm.
And then my friend was like, "Hey, my boyfriend owns this like talent agency for influencers. Like, we used to work together 4 years ago." He's like, "Would you want to be like a talent manager?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like that seems more fun
You're like, "I wanna
than
be the
like
talent, but
I'm like,
sure."
technically, I wanted to be the talent, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like, and so I took a chance. I ended up quitting before, like, literally a day before I was supposed to start. So the Friday, I was supposed to start the Monday, burned
Man.
that bridge. That was the first bridge I burned. C'est la vie.
Well,
And I was like, hey, yeah, no, but there was something in my gut. And I took it as a sign from the universe that's like, go this route, like, just take it. And I'm someone that's always believed in like the universe and
yeah, yeah.
manifestation. And so, yeah, I did that. And then it was crazy. So I did talent management for 6 months, and I learned a lot about this industry because it was so new to me. Like, again, I was just creating content for fun. It was like a
I think it's new to everybody kind of at
it's
this
new.
time, right?
Absolutely.
Like, over COVID, there was
Absolutely.
just this huge explosion of that's when
Yeah.
I downloaded TikTok because
Yeah.
people were on their phones. There was nowhere to go. We couldn't do anything, so we just kinda started entertaining ourselves,
Absolutely.
and there was just this boom of
Yes.
everything. So I think it's, like, new to everybody, which is super cool that you
Absolutely.
can kinda get in at the groundish
Exactly.
level, you know?
And I think, like, looking back years ago, my friends always said, like, this is when I just started Sephora, like, "You need to get on YouTube, like do YouTube, you do this." And I was like, I would love to, but I don't want it to like compromise my job. And then I would like post something on my story for, let's say, for work. And it was very much like, oh, like, don't, like, you can't be posting. Like, it was very, the times were very different back then. Now
Yeah,
companies want you to post, you know?
for sure.
They're just like, please, like, they'll beg you to be like, can you please talk about us online, you know? And so, granted, I was like a little private account with like maybe 1,000 followers. Like 900 of those were probably Italian family. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was
for
just
sure.
like, but
"You're
I was
doing
like
great,
talking
Bella."
exactly. But I did love it, and my friends would always be like, "You need to get on YouTube. You need to," and I always said no. And I was like, "No, no, 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 no." And then when COVID came there and TikTok launched, my friends were like, "For the love of fucking God, Monica, just like
Try.
get on it." And I was like, and I started it as a joke because I had an asshole as a neighbor upstairs. And
Okay.
he kept throwing shit down on my balcony. Like he would throw like dirt, like he would throw his garbage. Like
Ew.
he was a little
Yep.
but he would purposely do shit to piss all of us off. The neighbor below me, the neighbor to the right of me, like the neighbor upstairs. And so we were like in this neighbor wars. And so I was so frustrated. And my three best friends were like, you need to make a video about this. Just go online and make a video. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I will. And so I made a video. I'm like rating the shit that my neighbor throws on my balcony. And I did that. It was like I don't know, 60-second video. And I just ranked it and I roasted him. And it went viral.
Crazy.
And then people were like, "Oh my god," they were invested. So I kept making this whole series and I gained like 10,000 followers. And I was
Crazy.
like, and so my friends were like, "See, we told you you needed to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Oh, this is really fun. Like this is such a good way to get a creative outlet going." And then I was still working corporate at the time. So, yeah, so then here I am like, that was maybe a year later, and that's when I quit my job and I was like, okay, well, let's fucking go. Like, let me learn about this industry. And I learned a lot from it. I learned that I was not meant to be a talent manager. I was meant to be the talent.
Yeah.
But it did teach me a lot of the skills. And I feel like it helps me with my managers, like understanding what they have to do, what they
Yeah.
need from me. So, like,
For
I'm a
sure.
better team
Huge
because it takes a
expectations.
exactly. It takes a partnership. Like,
Yeah.
it truly does. And so I love that you crossed your legs. I actually have no pants on. I just wanted to let you know.
I'm too long and I have my computer
So
on.
I was like, I want to do this, and then you're like going to see ADHD rant. I have no pants on. I'm that kind of asshole. But yeah, so that was it. And then I learned the industry, and then we parted ways in June.
So you didn't end up staying with that agency as talent?
No,
Okay.
no shade.
It just wasn't a fit.
It wasn't a fit. It wasn't a fit. But yeah, learned a lot. And so then I was like, okay, well, fuck, I need a job. Cause they did they hired some people that have actual like PR experience. Cause here I am like new. And I was like, good for you. Like, do you need to do what's for your business? I'm not going to hate you for that. I'm a little sour cause I need a job, but whatever. Didn't qualify for EI because I technically had income
Yeah.
from social, which was annoying. And you can't really hide that cause it's very fucking public.
Yeah. They're not cash
Um,
under the table, unfortunately.
100%. I'm like, I can't. So I was like, shit. Well, now is my time to either sink or swim. So
Hmm.
it was in June of 2024 where I said, all right, I'm either doing this and like pursuing my dreams fully or, whatever. And so I ended up signing with my agency in September.
Did you seek them out or they came to you?
They came to me, which
Perfect.
was like, it was crazy. It was so like, I applied to them like a year ago, like things like that. They were on my manifestation board. But I really think when I put my full heart and soul into it in June, and I said, no, like, I'm going to make it my mission. Like, I'm going to go after it laser focused, started making more videos, like, really getting strategic because you do need to be strategic with
Yeah.
content. A lot of people are like, oh, like, I'm like, no, there's strategy there.
There has to be.
There has to be creativity, like, you have to invest in, equipment, like, I need a mic, so I'm adding that to the list. You have to invest in
What's
equipment,
on
you have
your
to
list?
invest in lighting, yeah, and you have to take it I took it seriously,
You do.
and
You do have to. And I think that maybe we could speak to some of the people that kind of think that this is, I mean, you and I do similar
yes,
kind of stuff, right?
yeah.
So
I love your content, it's so fucking funny.
that's so nice. Thank
So
you.
good.
But it is strategy, right? Like I had a
Yes.
very similar kind of during COVID. The very first video I
Tell
put
me.
up was I was overdubbing Justin Trudeau because every day he would come on and say the same thing, blah, blah, blah. So I just literally put this up and it exploded. And I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. This is fun.
Yeah.
What a joke, social media. And then like 4 later, it was like 8 views,
Yeah.
23 views. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. There's, you kind of have to see what hits, and there's
Exactly.
going to be a lot of shank in the ball because you don't know. It's a wily business. And to go all in,
Yeah.
you really need, like, I feel like I'm like half in, half out, but you really need to do exactly what you're doing is like
Yeah.
content strategy, content
Yeah.
calendars. What are we doing
Yeah.
today? Because there's an
Yeah.
expectation of visibility always
Absolutely.
showing up.
Absolutely.
It's like a
You
TV
have to
show,
show up.
you know?
Exactly.
And you have to, and I'm guilty of it too. When I have an like podcast that I like, let's say, if
Yeah.
I have an expectation that that podcast comes out on Thursday and I get a new episode, like when Amy Poehler's
Exactly.
podcast comes out, I'm like, who is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Who is it?
Yes.
Like, I wanna
She just did
know.
Ariana, and I loved it. They talked about
Oh,
her
so
Nona.
good. She's so
So
funny.
good. Yeah.
But there is an expectation, right? Like, and you
Yes.
need to it's not a like, "Oh, you're a content creator." There is real strategy and real
Absolutely.
work that goes into
Absolutely.
it. So, it
Yeah.
is possible to be successful, but it's a job.
Absolutely. And you have to be consistent with it. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, you have to be very consistent. Like, anyone can be a content creator. You have to be consistent, even when the views are shitty, right?
Yep.
Even you just have to be consistent and never really give up on yourself. You have to have a strategy to it. You need to like be able to story tell, get the things, but then also I think there's a big mental health piece that not a lot of people talk about, because I think when you expose yourself online, you get a shit ton of and that comes with a thing, you
It
know?
does, but, like, how many times can somebody comment on my fucking birthmark? I'm like, "Chad, come on. You're
Right?
lucky I don't give a shit." You know?
Yes.
But
Yes.
some people do. Some people
Yes,
do.
absolutely. And so I do say that like content creating has been the most healing thing, in the sense of like it's really allowed me to help like love myself, because
Mhm.
people will comment like the
Atrocious.
most atrocious things
Yep.
and like be like, you should die, like you do not deserve to
Literally.
live, like, and I'll get those messages all the time. And it's kind of you have to be like, you have to take that time to like care for your brain. And I think that's what really put me in that whole like breath work, and like, let me do I do like, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I like my mental health, and why I'm such a big advocate for it, because I was already in a weird place mentally, like after COVID, and so much trauma.
Yeah.
And then you add visibility to it,
Yeah.
and you add all of these people's opinions and just horrible trolls that are just miserable people. You have to really protect your mental health. And so that's kind of where I went down that route of like wellness, and like, okay, let me take care of like my mind, because I know if my mind's solid, then I'm able to show up like
Yeah.
every day.
And you started kind of this mental health path, I feel like,
Yeah.
with your 1 year of kinda dating yourself. Is that
Yeah.
kinda where not it started, but it was that part of it?
I think it was kind of like the big like breaking point. I was always trying to work on my mental health like before that. And I think a lot of it came out with like, okay, I came out later in life.
Yeah,
So
let's
it's
talk
like,
about all the way gay. Let's talk about the
yeah.
gay, and then we'll go into it. I think, again, you and
Yeah.
I have pretty similar because I was 30.
Yes, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, I guess that's later, right? It's
It's
later in
later.
life.
Yeah. It's later. And then you question, you're like, what was real? What was not real? Like, who
Yeah.
was I performing for what? Like, and I always had like anxiety, like always. I never really understood it. I'm like, I'm in therapy. I'm in this. Like,
Was it ever
I'll
on your radar? Or it
uh,
just manifested as anxiety and you didn't know why?
I feel like there was so many reasons why I had anxiety, but I think, yeah, a lot of it
Like, did you
had to.
know you were gay? Like, Lou
Yes,
knew
I
she was
did.
gay,
Yeah. So
but
I
she dated
knew.
boys and,
Yeah.
because that's just what you did.
Yeah. So I would say I knew when I was 24
Okay,
or 25. So I always thought women were beautiful, always connected
sure.
better with women.
Well, you would have been in a
Men,
makeup, like, right here all the time.
100%. And I was like, and I would say to my mom, like, women are beautiful. They're like, yeah, they are. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, like, but it was just very like heteronormative, like very, that, and especially in the Italian culture. So I was dating a guy from when I was like, I think 19 to 24. And we were gonna like, the next step was like gonna get engaged, and I just like, I felt dread. I don't know how else to describe it. It was just like my anxiety would just peak. Like I was in this relationship and I didn't understand why I had so much anxiety. And I remember I would like sit on the couch with him and be like, I feel anxious. Like I feel, your body knows first, you know? And he's
100%.
like, well, why? Like what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Work is fine. My friends are fine. Like there's all of that. So when we broke up, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm gonna just not date anyone. And then one day I was like, I want to date a woman. So I said to my friends, I'm like, oh, like, I think I'm gonna get Tinder, but I think I want to go on a date with a girl. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And I
And they were
did.
good? Receptive?
They were fine. They were fine to that. They were like, yeah, like we're not really shocked. Like I was also that girl like in high school that was like drunk and be like, oh, let's kiss. Like I was that girl, But I just thought that's what girls did.
They
I
do on
was
TV?
very naive. I was very naive. I think that's the way to describe it. Like, I just feel like I was sleeping and I was just plugged into this world that, like, you're taught to have.
Yeah, it probably
And
wasn't even on
yeah,
your radar, like,
it wasn't a yeah, and
you
it was
had
like I
Zios and
loved
Zias, and they were a
exactly.
couple, and they had babies, and that's what you do.
Exactly. And there wasn't much visibility, there wasn't much. There was like Ellen, that's it.
Ellen.
And
But you're like,
that's
"Wait a
it.
minute, I'm not attracted to
Yeah.
Ellen."
No, I'm not attracted to Ellen. I'm like, she's cool as fuck though, but well, not I don't think the same anymore. But like uh,
There's been some evidence. Anyways,
100%. Yeah. So there was that. And then I went on this date.
you did, eh? You were like, "I'm gonna do it."
I did. And it was the best date ever. It was the best date ever, and I took her for dinner, and it was, like, her birthday, and apparently this is the gayest shit I've ever done, didn't know it was gay, and I it was her birthday, so I'm bring out a birthday cake for her, I, got her, oysters, I paid for dinner, took her for, steak and oysters, and then we went to Cruise and Tangos,
Had
and
you been to, like, the neighborhood at all?
was, with some of my, queer friends, but I was very much, it was very gay men
Sure.
centered,
Sure.
not really, So when I was there and it was, a lot of lesbians and,
Yeah.
I see girls and I literally, she laughs we're still friends to this day, and she was just
Well,
like,
as you do. As you
"As you
do.
do." That's why I'm like, "Oh god." And she always laughs, she's like, "I remember you just, turned to me," and she was like, "This is amazing." And I was like and you're like, "This is a lesbian bar? This is amazing." I had a great time, and then we went back to her place,
Mm.
and, I was like I wanted to kiss her so we made out all night, don't get me wrong, and I wanted to do more with it, but again, I was so fucking naive. Sorry, I'm gonna swear a lot, but I was so naive, and I was like, "I don't know how to have sex without a dick," and
100%.
I was like, I don't know what," and so I pretended to fall asleep.
Listen, but they're also like, how could you have known the
Yes.
variety of
Yes.
lesbian sex too, right? Like it's not just like peen in vagina,
No.
like that constitutes
Of course.
heterosex.
Exactly,
Women,
and yes, it's crazy, it's so good. And it's wild because, again, hated, can I how explicit can
you
this
can
get?
a hundred
Okay,
anything.
I hated getting fingered, I hated getting eaten out by, a guy
It
I
just
was
wasn't
like
your thing.
so in my mind, I was like, "Oh, we could do that," but I'm like, "I fucking hate."
You're like, I don't like penetration. Why would we?
Yeah, I was like, "I don't like." Anyways, lesbian sex has been life-changing, it's been life-changing. So, after that I went in denial because I was like, I know I'm gonna like this a lot, and I just don't think I'm fucking ready. So I said no. My friends are like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yep, I don't want to talk about it." I put a hard ass boundary. I'm like, "Don't bring it up." And so they left it. They left it, and
Were you still talking to this girl? Or you
oh,
kind of
absolutely. She was like, "You would send me nudes," and I was like, "Yes, yes, I would." She would send me, and I was like, and she would. I'd always be like, "I'm not gay," and she'd be like, "Uh huh." Uh-huh. I was that straight girl, you know what I mean?
I do.
I was that straight girl. And so, were you the same? What were
No,
you?
so my aunt, my dad's sister was gay
Yeah,
growing up.
amazing.
So she actually was married to an Italian man who was, my Zio.
I love
But when
that.
I was like in my teens, they broke up and she started dating a woman. So within my family and whatever, it was never not
Okay.
in the realm of possibility,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just didn't think that I was not that I wasn't attracted to women, but it was just not my thing. It
Yeah.
was something I could do. And then
Yes.
it was really Lou that kind of just fucked it all up for me.
Yeah.
You know? But it was
We have
never
that
something that I was like, "Oh,
effect.
I couldn't possibly be," you know? It was just like, I don't think it's for me." And even now I would be, in hindsight, probably pansexual because there are some very attractive trans men, and if I'm cool with a vagina, I mean, what do I know, But
Yeah.
I would identify as bisexual, and I
That's
always
fair. Yeah, yeah.
kinda did. So it wasn't as similar, but it was,
Yeah.
definitely late
Yeah.
in life. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
Wait a
minute. My
minute.
body
Life
is not
changing.
supposed to develop a rash when I have sex with men? Wait, what?"
Girl, I had a reoccurring yeast infection for 3 years. And my body was literally like,
Yeah.
that's very open that I told you that. That they
No,
wanted
but
to put me in a study, but my body was literally like, "You hate men.
girl,
How much more do we need to tell you?"
it will 100 I went to the doctor and I was like,
Absolutely.
"I have an STD." or an I
Yes, that's
have
what
an
I was
STI.
like, "Do I have an STD? Like, what's
And they were
happening?"
like, "You don't." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Something's wrong with me."
Yeah.
But something was wrong with me.
Yes.
I'm pointing at
Yes.
my head. Something was
Yes.
wrong
Yes.
with me in a
Yeah.
different way.
100%. And like and that's what like the whole wellness thing, because your
Yeah,
body will always know first,
for
right? So
sure.
that's kind of what, like, kind of going into that sense, and like, yes, like, so my 20s, early 30s, I was like,
So you were kind of dating women on and off in that time?
No, I didn't date women at all. I was actually doming men, which was really fun.
Do you watch
Yeah.
Broad City?
No, should I?
What? Girl,
No.
if you take nothing else from this, immediately
Watch Broad City?
watch Broad City.
Is it
There
about dominatrix?
well, there's one with a pegging episode.
Oh, amazing.
It is
Okay.
the funniest
I
Abby and
love that.
Alana, produced by Amy Poehler, the funniest show
Hey.
immediately.
I need to do that. Yeah, I always say my first strap was never with a woman, it was with a man.
Right, and see, that's the thing people don't know too. It's so black and white out there. You have
Yes.
no idea what people are doing,
100%.
what people are into.
100%. 100%. Oh my god, yeah, like, and it's crazy because 'cause I'm like, I didn't make them pay for that shit. I just did it for fun.
So what why do you think you started was it you're
I
like,
think
"I'm
it
gonna try dating men again?"
well, yeah, I continued to date men. Like, I always said, like, I'm not gonna get married. I'm not gonna get in a relationship. I'm just gonna like have fun. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, you kind of have some sexual needs, right?
sure.
Oh, my poor parents, they listen to everything, and they know
We
everything. It's
won't tell
fine.
them about this one.
Oh no, they know already. But it's just like, yeah, I would like go on dates with men. Like, I would try to be like, okay, I need to settle. Like, there was a part of me that's like, I need to settle down. Um, so I did actually end up getting one other boyfriend. It lasted 3 months. He was wonderful. He's a great guy. And I think that's probably why I was like, yeah, we can date, because he was not like a typical like
More
hetero.
like an effeminate man.
Yeah. He was very masculine, but he was very kind and very gentle, and like, oh, and I feel like we balanced each other out, but it was honestly, looking back, it was a bro relationship. Like, that's
Yeah.
really what it we would go out, we would play football together. We would go out, like, watch football game. Like, we were just bros, if
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah.
he was
Better
a good looking
friends, probably.
guy. Yeah. Yes, and that's why we're friends. We're friends now, but we just, yeah, we weren't meant to be, obviously, because I'm a fucking flaming homosexual. So there's that.
There
So
is that.
yeah, there is that. And
So
so
then
at
you are so you're
30s,
home, COVID
I
happens,
know,
we're not really
COVID
dating, I guess,
happens.
because
No.
it's a
And then
tricky
I'm
time, and you're
exactly.
like,
And then I'm on the ticky talkies.
"I'm just gonna for this is gonna go into a year." How did
Exact.
that kinda come about?
So say that again. Sorry.
So, like, your year of just so for those of you that don't know, or if you don't
Yeah.
follow, you
Yeah.
decided to do a very public on your socials,
Yes.
"I'm gonna for my mental health, for my
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well-being, I'm gonna self-love, date only
For
myself
exactly.
for a year."
For a year. Yes, because I came out during COVID after seeing all of these hot lesbians on my For You page, because
Right?
like, your algorithm and your body knows before you. And so I had 2 relationships prior with women, so I was in
Okay.
two relationships, and then after that, I was just like, my mental health is really shitty. I realized that, like, I really like women. Those heartbreaks, I feel like, from, women relationships, is it just hits different.
For sure. 'Cause it's so
And
intense
so
so fast, you know? You're like, "Oh
so
my god, you
intense.
are my soulmate." Of
Exactly. Yeah, like, and all of this, and, like, I U-Hauled with one, we lived together, like,
course.
she's great.
I think a big part of that too that for people that don't know is just like you're if you have dated men your whole life, the difference between and I'm not saying
Yeah.
all men are dicks. I lovely, my ex-husband's a lovely man, but the effort that a woman will put in
Yeah.
to learn you, to know you, to
Yeah.
show up for you
Yeah.
is like
It's a different
there's nothing else. I always say to
nothing.
people, my friends who are dating men, I'm like, if you for 1 second dated a woman and one time were like, I really love blueberry muffins, they would show up on your porch in
Yes.
2 hours,
Handmade. Handmade.
handmade with like
Yep.
churned butter,
Yep.
like
Yep.
it would be immediate because that's just women.
Exactly. It's women. Women are just, oh, I
So
love them
thoughtful.
so much.
It's
Like, I
true.
truly, if I could live in a world where there's no men, like, I would be so happy.
But the
Truly.
breakups
The
be real
breakups,
heavy.
my God, yeah, because it's just like, and then it makes you question, like, what did I do for my entire life? Like,
Yeah.
what was a fucking lie that I
Right.
was telling myself? And I did that like on every angle. So after that, the last breakup, I did it very public. I'm dating myself. I'm not dating anyone else. I'm dating me. I need to get to know me. And I think that's the thing. When I came out, I immediately got into a relationship
For
because
sure.
I was like, I know who I am. Like,
Yeah.
I've been in relationships before. In hindsight, I had no fucking idea who I was. I needed to explore. I needed to try different things. I needed to,
Yeah.
do all of these things. And so, yeah, it almost felt like a second adolescence in that sense of like developing who the fuck I was and like unlearning a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I said, okay, well, what about me? Like, who am I? From a work perspective, right? Like, what do I really want to fucking do? Who am I around, like, just as a human? Like, what are my qualities, like, that I really like about myself? What are my core beliefs? What is truly me? What is truly Monica? And what has been told that that's what you should be?
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of dissecting, a lot of mental, like a lot of like therapy work, a lot of like shadow work, we'll call it, a lot of dissecting that.
Have you seen Runaway Bride?
Yes,
What
of
kind of eggs do
course.
you like, Monica?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what I like. And
You're
it
like,
depends on my
now,
mood, but that's the thing, it depends on my mood for my eggs. But yes, exactly.
you know, are you,
Exactly.
do you like what your partner like? And that's a
God.
tricky thing to do, honestly. And then pull back the curtain for 1 second. While you're doing this for all of your mental
Yeah.
health and stuff, was this like kind of a social strategy too? You're like, I'm going to show all of
Yeah.
this.
I think so. Like, I think with that, it was very much like I put most of my life online and I really wanted to be honest, but I kind of do use social as like an accountability piece for myself,
Mm,
you know?
for sure.
So I said, you know what? Like, let me just share this journey because I wish, like I always try and say with my content, I want to create the content I wish I consumed.
Right. Yeah,
Well, I wish I had. That's
totally.
the way that, like, my planning comes about it. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna do, like, these self-love dates, and, like, I'm gonna show it to people of, like, what I do because I'm still learning, and maybe someone in the comments will say something helpful, or and maybe it will inspire someone." So, like, that's how my brain works. So
And were
I
people
did
receptive to it?
people were fucking loving it. They were loving it, but then I met my girlfriend,
Your lovely girlfriend.
my lovely girlfriend who I love so much,
What a rocket.
and when I first met her, like, we were friends, like, it wasn't I was very like, she was hot, god, she's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I was just like, I'm not looking for a relationship, like, was just she just ended a relationship, and so we became friends, and she is, like, another, Italian, very similar story, and we started talking, we just built a beautiful friendship, and, yeah, it was just one of those things where I was like, "Oh, man, like, I really like her." And we have this amazing connection. And I said I wasn't going to date anyone or whatever. And the universe is always like, it's always the moment you're like, I'm over. I'm not
It's like,
that they're just like, here you go. So it's that.
how long into
So
this year was the
I met her in July. So I started at end of March. So it was like April, May, June. So it was only 4 months. I was like,
still?
absolutely not. Like
Yeah.
I said, like, no. So
Yeah.
we were friends like for months.
But that's a lovely
And
way to
then
build a foundation too, right? And
absolutely, and
there's
I'm
no
really happy.
expectation. You're like, "We
Exactly.
cannot, so let's
No,
just."
exactly, but I
Yeah,
just got to know her on, like, a very, like, friend level, and she knew where I was, she's followed my content, and she was like, "I'm in the same boat," and it wasn't until, like, end of, like we were at a Halloween party, and my friend I think anyone that was with us could just see the, like, we have a really amazing bond,
yeah,
and my friend looks at me, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, you're talking about loving yourself and not people pleasing anymore and doing whatever. So, why are you not doing something that's going to bring you love and bring you joy because you're afraid of upsetting the internet?
yeah,
Well, that to me is fucking people pleasing. And I literally looked at her and I was like, you read me for filth. Like, you read me for filth. But, like, I don't know. I respect those friendships, that are just very honest. Like, because it's true. And I think part of the self love was like, I'm not doing things for other people
yeah,
anymore. So this journey of self-love kind of became to like like I was doing a lot of work on myself, but it was very much like, oh, like the internet, like, oh God, I don't want to upset them. And so I made a video and I was like, well, here's what it is. Like I met someone, she's great, and I was denying it. And I think in true self-love, I'm gonna follow it, but I'm not going to stop dating myself. And so I think one thing I talked to my partner about is like, I'm going to need the space. I'm going to need the time to like also make sure I'm healing and like I really want to go slow, and she's been able to give me that amazing space, and she's taken it for her. And so like we're healing separately, but also we're healing together, which is
Yeah.
quite beautiful.
I think that's why part of your sorry to interrupt you. Part of
No, go. You're good.
your kind of story there with the self-love and whatever is compelling to people because it's authentic, right? And that's
Yes.
ultimately that's what people want. I have this tattoo right here. It says
Mhm.
recalibrate because sometimes the ending that you think that you're going to have is not where you
Exactly.
end up, right? Like so just because you come out of the gate with an intention to be here, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that here is wrong, you know? Like
Yeah.
you just kind of
Exactly.
recalibrated and pivoted and ended up
Yeah.
somewhere else where you're supposed to be.
I love that, recalibrate. Yeah, it's true. You have to reground, recenter
You
many
have
times
to.
throughout the day, but in general too, you know? So I love that. It's so true. And
That's a good friend really though, because
no,
you
great
would
friend. And I
have
tell her
I
all the
would
time.
have, if I were you, I've been like, "I gotta do it."
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna do it for a year. So
Yeah.
I guess I gotta do it for a
Exactly.
year. For who? For
Exactly.
Cheryl in North
Exactly.
Dakota?
No, you know? And we took it slow. Like after that conversation, like I just said, I had a convo with her. I'm like, I would like to date you. Like, I'm not talking like let's get into a relate like let's not put it to I just want to date you.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that was that. And I think it's good. And so with this like self-love piece, like I really said like I wanted to heal my mind, which I'm doing. I wanted to heal my soul, which I'm figuring out, and I also wanted to heal my body, right? Like there was, I think it kind of like it just encompasses like overall like your body really can hold a lot of trauma. Your body knows first when something's wrong, and so being able to be so attuned to your body, and I was very disconnected from my body. So being able to reconnect to my body and be like, how am I actually feeling? What am I feeling? I'm feeling a little off. Okay, let me sit with this. Let me like do some meditation. Like, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I'm feeling anxious. Okay, why am I feeling anxious? Or oh, it's not actually anxiety. It's actually, fear, or it's some like the wheel of emotions has been my favorite. Had you know the wheel of emotions?
No.
I'm if there's one thing you're gonna take away, I'm taking away Broad City and you're gonna take away the wheel of emotions. Because
Alright.
Italians, let me tell you, Italians, they sweep fucking emotions under a rug.
They
Okay,
sure
you
do.
don't talk about emotions. You don't do all of that shit. You take it, you put it under a rug, and God forbid you talk about it because someone else has it worse.
Yeah,
It's very much that mindset.
for sure.
And so,
Also, you gotta
yeah,
hide your shame
you
because
have to hide your shame, and
no one
I'm
can
so
know.
glad you said shame. I had so much shame
Yeah,
and so much guilt in my body,
for sure.
and so much other shit. So yeah, now I attuned to my body. I'm like, okay, well, like let me check in, see how I'm fucking feeling,
For sure. It's so
and that's
necessary, and
it.
I think that's probably lovely for people to
Yeah.
see somebody else doing because people don't. They truly don't. Like, I really try with my kids to kinda that awareness where if one of them's angry and I'm like we go back to, like, thoughts create your emotions. So what are you thinking?
Yes.
What's the you're not just
Exactly.
angry and now you're mad because 'cause you're angry. You're
Yeah.
thinking something that's making you angry, you know? But
Exactly.
if you don't have that, the wherewithal to notice that, to take the time to
Yeah.
be like, why am I anxious today? What is the problem here? Is it something I can fix or is it just something I got to
Period.
sit with for a minute,
Yes.
And that's lovely
Exactly.
that you have been able to
That's
do
good
that.
that you're teaching your kids that.
What's
That's
that?
amazing. I said that's great you're teaching your kids that,
Yeah.
Like, they
Right?
fucking
Well,
should teach that in school too. Teach it to
I
adults.
wish honestly in hindsight that was something that was
Yeah.
taught to, and maybe people are learning. I think maybe I'll do a whole podcast about it. But truly,
Oh
like
my god,
your
yeah.
thoughts create your
Absolutely.
emotions, and if you can show people a
Yes.
different way, especially, cultural if you have access to kind of an Italian culture where everything is pushed down under the rug, we
Yeah.
don't talk about it, to have those people be aware of their emotions and how they're feeling and why they're feeling that way, that's
Yes.
huge. That's a
Yes.
huge thing that you get to do.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And I mean, I could talk about that for days,
We'll do a whole
There's
other one on
oh
just
my
that
god, bring me back on. We can talk just about that. I
when
love
you get a
it.
mic. But what a
Yes.
beautiful gift that you've kinda created a career that allows you to not only bring joy to people,
Yeah.
show super cool things, go to cool events, but
Yeah.
also heal yourself at the same time, like, your
Yeah.
job allows you to get paid to heal, which is
It's actually like I manifested that so hard,
yeah.
but it's true. And I think this is, just it's just it's a chapter in something, but
What's the trajectory of Gay Italian Nonna next? Like, what is it? What's
I
your
think,
goal? What's your plan?
yeah, my goal, I've always said, is to bring as much joy and inspiration to people as I can. Like that's like really like my goal. Like I love bringing humor, I love bringing laughter, I love bringing that like healingness that like the world kind of needs right now.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to do that long term. I would love to do TV or movie, like that would be a dream. A dream. So if anyone's listening, that's
Like acting?
uh
You wanna get into
I would
acting or
love
you
to act, yeah. I'm
really?
trying to find an acting, manager,
Yeah.
talent manager, and it's hard.
It
It's
is
hard.
it is
I've been
hard.
applying. So listen, if anyone is an acting manager that's, or knows someone,
Yeah.
here we
It
go.
is hard too.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I'm like, it's like, do
Is that
I wanna sign with an agency and have kinda that, or do I wanna continue to kinda create my own there's
yeah,
hard. It's hard to decide what you wanna do, where you wanna go, what the
yes,
benefits of both, whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
So TV, movies, all the things.
Yeah, that's it. Same with you? Like more
Yeah, I know
cooking
that's
or
I am in a if we get real woo-woo, I'm kind of in
yeah,
a spot of my life where it's like I'm not quite sure what the goal is to
yeah,
kinda go all in for the goal,
that makes
Like,
sense. That makes total sense.
which is trick like, I love doing morning shows, I love doing the segments, I'd love to host them, though, Like,
Yes.
I would love to be on the shows, to run the shows, but maybe that
Yes.
means doing my own show, or maybe it's this kinda, going all in on
Yeah.
this. I don't know, and that's I meditate on that a lot. It's like, what is the path?
Yes.
And I know that it reveals itself as you start walking, but it's like I'm just kind of
Yes.
I don't know what direction to walk,
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
you know?
I feel that.
It's like
Yeah,
almost
and
too much choice.
yes, that's been the
We're
past
just
year where
good
I'm
at
like,
too many
"Which
things.
way?"
It's
Yeah, I'm
just
like, "Which way do I wanna go? Do I wanna go the, like, healing practitioner route? Do I wanna go, like, makeup art?" Like, there's so many routes, but yeah, you just have to sit with it, and
it truly.
it will show, it will show. It will show.
Yeah, it will. And sometimes you got to recalibrate. Sometimes you walk down a path and you're like, this isn't it.
That's it.
This is not it.
Exactly. And that's sometimes the whole thing is you could do it all. Like so many people are like, you can't do it all. I'm like, you can do many things. There's so many chapters that you could do.
You can. I try to tell
Yeah.
my eldest is in grade 12 and he's kind of deciding whatever. I'm like, babe, there's no wrong. Like you
Yeah.
are just going to choose something. It's not like you
Yeah.
chose this and you're like, oh, I should have chose it. No, you shouldn't have because you didn't. We
Yeah.
still can correct. We can course correct, but you just there's gotta stop worrying about the wrongness of your choice,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
make the choice
And you could change. You can change.
100
Change is
times.
fine. So many people are scared of change, but it's a good thing,
I love
you know?
change. I love it
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Me
that's how you
too.
figure yourself out.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Where can people find
Yeah.
you, follow you, all the things?
Yeah. My handle's Gay Italian Nonna
And why are we
on all
gay Italian
platforms.
nonna? Is the nonna like you like to go to bed at 8 p.m.?
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like I'm an old soul. Like, I'm an old soul. Like, the type of friend that is just there to, like, listen, will tell you it straight up, very real, make sure everyone's fed. I like to cook. Like, people see me online and they think I'm very extroverted and all of that. I'm actually an introvert. I
Really?
just turn it on for work, you know? I turn it on for work, and I try and say that in my stories a lot. But when people, like, hang out with me, like, it depends on the scenario. Obviously, if it's a work event, I'm gonna be very social, like, all of that. But when you see me in my true habitat, I'm sitting on my, like, I literally have a nonna couch. It
Yes,
just doesn't
yes.
have plastic on it. And I just wanna make sure everyone's fed, and I just like sitting and existing and like just and then people can come if they need like a word of advice. Like that's my true essence and my core. So
Yeah.
that's it. Like you see, the Nunna is my stage name.
Yeah.
Monica's who I am,
Right.
if that makes sense. But
Yes.
like I'm actually a Nunna in my real life.
And gay is all of it.
And gay is all of it. Very, very flaming
So you're gay
homosexual.
Italian nonna on all
Gay
the things.
Italian Nunna.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Can't forget that. Gay
No, you
Italian
can't.
Nunna.
I
No.
forget Monica all the time.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm speaking to nonna
Yes.
today. Thank you
Everyone
so
loves
much.
speaking to a nonna.
It's
Thanks for
true.
having me. This was such a cute little chat.
I appreciate it.
Great. And I love this. And I love that this is like hosting. It's a really good like manifestation way to
Yeah.
to get that. I can't wait. I'm gonna be on your show one day.
Yes, you will.
Please.
It'll be the best.
It will be your morning show, and we'll talk about my new movie coming out.
Listen, maybe in the afternoon because I like a sleepy sleeps. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. Now you know. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.